When it comes to weight, the line that separates aesthetic awkwardness from severe health issues is a very thin one. Obesity is a pandemic and it has doubled since 1980. Body mass index is defined as weight divided by height in meters square. If you were to have a body mass index of 22.5 and above, you're termed as overweight. If your body mass index is anything above 27.5, you're termed as obese. What causes obesity? Obesity is a multifactorial disease wherein genetic, behavioral, and environmental factors come into play. In today's episode of Let's Talk Health, experts from Apollo Hospital will guide you through to avoid the obesity trap. The panel of experts also includes experts from the Institute of Bariatric Surgery. Bariatric surgery is one of the ways of reducing obesity and change your life for better.
A country where 29.5% of the population lives below the poverty line. The menace of obesity seems to be a distant phenomenon. But the reality is India is in the middle of a fat eruption. Junk food, cold drinks, and sedentary lifestyle is leading us on a road towards unhealthy living. 31% of men and 29% of women in India are reported to be overweight. For morbidly obese people, along with dietary restrictions, physical workout, and medicines, now surgical help is available. With the advancement in medical science and technology, bariatric surgery is one of the ways to fight obesity and change their lives for the better.
Bariatric surgery as such is a specialty where we tend to work surgically on correcting morbid obesity, we call it as. When it comes to the types, we have two types of which one is called the restrictive bariatric surgery where we restrict the intake alone. Then we have something called a malabsorptive technique. Malabsorptive technique is a technique where we reduce the absorption of the nutrients what we eat. And we have something called as a combined procedures, which combines both restriction and malabsorption together. Most of the bariatric procedures are all the combination procedures. So for example, we have something called as sleeve gastrectomy and stomach stapling, most of the people know. It's just restricting the of the stomach alone. We talk about a bypass, which is again people commonly know as a bariatric surgery, where we combine restriction as well as malabsorption that gives the longevity in weight loss and comorbidity. We have an upcoming third procedure called mini gastric bypass, which has been very famous in the last couple of years.
Not all of these people are eligible for bariatric surgery. The selection is based on calculation of the body mass index or BMI.
डाइट जो भी आपने बोला है उसके हिसाब से आपका कार्बोहाइड्रेट इंटेक बहुत ज़्यादा है और प्रोटीन इंटेक बहुत कम है.
Followed up with a diet regime prescribed by a nutritionist. A bariatric patient should have a BMI of 32.5 and above with comorbidities like diabetes, sleep apnea and hypertension, or a BMI of 35 and above without comorbidity. After any bariatric procedure, the weight loss is gradual. On an average, a person loses about 5 kilos every month.
The moment we plan to discharge the patient, we normally, first thing is about the diet chart, what they need to follow. The diet chart carries only for a month because it takes a month's time for them to get back to regular normal diet. First week of liquid diet, second week of semi-solid diet, third week of soft diet. Only in the fourth week we go to normal diet. And how to do that as well? Because stomach is smaller, you can't eat bulk, at the same time need energy. So we increase the frequency. For example, we say 3 meals and 3 snacks. 3 meals or 2 snacks, or 3 meals or 3 snacks, some must a day. Whether like it or not, we are teachers. 1. Second, liquids, sip and not use a straw. And chew and eat, not gulp.
In this episode, we look at stories of 2 individuals who have transformed their lives, reinforcing positive lifestyle changes after a successful bariatric surgery.
I enjoy swimming, I enjoy sports activity now, which previously I was not able to do. And I feel healthy, I feel young, I feel active.
Healthy, young and active are the words Ashok Bhandari uses to describe his present well-being. But until a year ago, things were very different. Weighing 169 kgs, Bhandari was afflicted with morbid obesity and its related health complications.
When I used to walk in the street, people would stop and stare at me. Small street urchins would say, "Amma," like that. And yes, definitely I was starting to feel very, very bad and uncomfortable. I was not able to walk properly. I was not able to climb stairs. I was getting breathless very, very fast. Both my knees started hurting me because they were carrying a lot of extra weight, more than what they were intended to carry.
After a few positive consultations with a bariatric surgeon, Bhandari set aside his inhibitions and took the first step towards changing his life. He decided to go ahead with laparoscopic gastric bypass bariatric surgery on 16th January 2014.
When Ashok Kumar came to us to the hospital, he was having a huge BMI of close to 65, and he also had a lot of comorbidities of early diabetes, hypertension, sleep apnea, and he also had issues like osteoarthritis. And since he has a severe sleep apnea, what happens is surgical scenario is like the shortest we keep the surgery, the fastest the recovery is going to be, the least the complication for surgery is. Since we have been doing laparoscopy for quite some time, maybe for the last 12 years for bariatrics, so our experience is much more in laparoscopy, so which is the best solution what you can give.
In a laparoscopic gastric bypass bariatric surgery, small cuts are made in the belly. One of these cuts is used to place a tiny camera called laparoscope, which is connected to the video monitor in the operating room. And through the other cut, thin surgical instruments are inserted for the surgery. Gastric bypass involves creation of a gastric pouch by cutting the stomach. The small intestine is segmented into 2, with the second part being reattached to the stomach pouch. The first part of the small intestine is joined again to the second part, bypassing a significant length of the second part of the intestine. Now the food travels directly from the pouch to this new opening into the small intestine. Because of this, the body absorbs fewer calories and facilitates in losing weight.
Their body is so heavy. When you operate with a big height, so you have to operate very uncomfortable. For that, we need to have a table which is capacity of around at least 450 kg capacity, which can go low. And behind me you can see the laparoscopic trolley. What exactly we talk with trolley is called the image station, where whatever we operate to the laparoscope will be captured by this instrument. The other instruments they talk about, they have a capacity of 15 liters of air and carbon dioxide to be flown into the abdomen for distance. whereas these patients are very heavy. They need large pressure of volume of carbon dioxide to distill the stomach. This is a high volume insufferable we call it. Normal is 15 liters, this is 40 liters.
Frequent follow-ups with the doctor is a mandatory practice post-bariatric surgery, and Bhandari, along with his wife, is fairly regular at visiting the doctor.
I'm keeping this belt as a souvenir. Okay. I was putting the belt here or here. Yes. Congratulations. Thank you.
Keeping a close watch at his progress post the surgery.
It was something I never dreamt in my life. I would become this small size again. Now I am from the maximum weight of 169. Now I am 97, 98. You cannot imagine the happiness going through me because of this surgery.
From eating a balanced diet to climbing 10 floors without any difficulty. To enjoying gardening with his granddaughter, Ashok Bhandari's life has taken a complete 360-degree turn post the surgery.
People previously looked at me with pity because I was so enormous. It was a small elephant walking down when they used to see me. Now I am fit and trim. And 2 or 3 days back in the club, a friend's wife complimented me that I am looking very young, handsome and refreshing is what she told me. So I am very happy. That boosts my self-esteem. And to put it in a naughty way, I am more appealing to women.
Here's to the best version of Ashok Kumar Bhandari in a selfie. On the other side of the break, meet Ashutosh Bagri, who shed 92 kilos to become a much healthier and a happier person. Ashutosh Bagri has invested in a spanking new wardrobe. It's the variety of colorful t-shirts that baffles his mind each time he plans a day out with friends. Confident and ready to take on the world, Ashutosh is being showered with compliments for his new physique. But until a year ago, he weighed a whopping 180 kilos. This condition of morbid obesity not only affected his quality of life, but also drained him emotionally.
I could never, have the guts to go meet a girl. I never had the guts to go even talk to a girl. I mean, just say a hi, hello, or, even offer my friendship to her, leave alone the rest. Even if I think of approaching her or no, she with her friends, they'll immediately start, gossiping and pointing me, see, this is that guy, see that guy, how fat he is, They start discussing, they start gossiping, they start whispering and giggling around that, and it makes it even more worse and tough, and it pushes you back more mentally, emotionally, on all aspects.
Ashutosh has been obese since childhood, a disorder he inherited from his parents. But it was an emotional appeal from his father that made Ashutosh realize the significance of losing weight to lead a healthier life ahead.
The only thing my father told me was, son, you saw what pains your mom went through, how she suffered. I don't want you to suffer like that. You've got a long life to live. I just want one gift from you. Now that you have developed the confidence, don't let it go down. Increase that confidence. Have trust on your uncle. Have trust on God. Have trust on the doctor who is going to operate you. Go with a positive mind frame. I'm sure, son, you will come out and you will have a great life. The next morning, I told uncle that, uncle, I'm back. I'm ready for the surgery.
Once Ashutosh made up his mind about the surgery, the remaining task at hand was easy. He underwent a mini gastric bypass through robotics on 4th February 2014. The procedure for mini gastric bypass is quite similar to that of the laparoscopic gastric bypass bariatric surgery, where through cuts a gastric pouch is created which is joined to the small intestine. However, gastric bypass is a largely restrictive surgery with less malabsorption, and mini gastric bypass is largely malabsorptive and less restrictive. The aim, however, in both cases is to make the body absorb fewer calories and facilitate in losing weight.
He's a bit tall guy, so he was around 5'11" in height and around 170 kg. So people who are very obese and people who are very tall, it's really difficult to do laparoscopic stuff. Basically, we have to extend our hand way beyond. We have huge patients way beyond to operate. So it's pretty difficult to handle those people laparoscopically. Whereas when you talk about robotics, however big the patient can be, however tall the patient can be, we do on a console and the robo arm operates on the patient. So this scenario makes life more easier for surgeon in a heavy patient. One. Second, another big advantage what a robo can give is better vision and better clarity. So we have something called intuitiveness. Because of a 3D vision, what you see is like what you see in real life. You tend to be feeling like you are inside the patient's abdomen and operating because of a 3D vision. The instruments move much better, giving more mobility to the operation as well as more clarity.
After a successful bariatric surgery, Ashutosh rejoined his family business of ball bearings with full enthusiasm. Much like his regained passion for work, he is equally disciplined about the customary follow-ups with his surgeon.
He again has another big success story where he doesn't need nutrition supplement because he properly takes care of his nutrition through a nutritionist. A regular diet, no need for supplement at all. Once he comes and says that, he's so happy that he can climb up stairs, what he never used to. Then he comes and tells that he can do jogging and treadmilling, which he never did in his life. Once he comes and tells that he found somebody in the apartment, a girl who comes and says hi to him, who had never said since his childhood. And then he inspires us to be a better bariatric surgeon.
To keep himself fit and healthy, Ashutosh hits the gym every evening and follows a strenuous workout regime with the help of his instructor. Weighing 88 kilos at present, he is happy beyond words. But there's one wish of his that will remain unfulfilled for life.
1 year down the line, I will weigh so much. I will look like this. I started visualizing myself and I was, eager and more excited to, see this day in practical way. But I miss my dad today a lot. How are you doing today? Somewhere down the line, how do you do today? You're being so happy.
Today, Ashutosh is a different person altogether. The surgery has given him a second lease of life, and the compliments haven't stopped pouring in.
The weight loss which has been happening on a regular basis for the past 1 year has definitely added motivation to me and made me, to realize that yes, I can and I am and I will.
Such impressive post-surgery results have led to a huge interest in the field of bariatric surgery. 12,750 bariatric surgeries were performed in 2014, as against to 8,500 in 2013. the number of bariatric surgery cases increasing every year, a relatively new technology called SILS, or single incision laparoscopic surgery, is set to revolutionize the art of scarless surgery.
First reported case in the world for a SILS revision bariatrics also happened in Apollo. We are proud to say that. So we are the leading in India when it comes to wide range of SILS bariatric procedures. We go through a small incision in the abdomen through the umbilicus or the navel. So it is a normal scar. So the scar is buried after surgery. Go in, we have specialized equipment. All the specialized equipment, 3 or 4, go through the same hole, a 2.6 centimeter hole through the navel. We go in, and there's a lot of difference in the technology where we use the surgical techniques inside. Especially the most important part is the traction part, where we have designed a new technique of liver traction called as a hatchet sling. It goes under my name, which is proud for Apollo to introduce that in the world, and then we have done a lot of publication presentations based on that, where we lift the liver through a suture from within the abdomen so that we don't need additional traction, which is unique to our center and which is replicated in a lot of centers around the world nowadays.
Bariatric surgery is one of the efficacious options now available to morbidly obese people, making them move towards a healthier, longer and a more fulfilling life.
Hello everybody, I'm here to give you an update on Mr. Ashok and Mr. Ashutosh. Mr. Ashok went through a body contouring surgery 3 months ago. His quality of life has improved dramatically, and here's the best part: no signs of sleep apnea whatsoever. Mr. Ashutosh, who is morbidly obese, underwent a robotic mini gastric bypass surgery. Since then, he's got a very positive outlook in life. His self-confidence has soared, and he now actively participates in his family business. And he has recently won the Young Entrepreneur of the Year award for 2015. Now here's the message, there's a takeaway here. Just like these individuals, if you or somebody you love or care about is perhaps at risk because of being obese, I would strongly ask, implore that you come and get yourself a test. Life is priceless. Until next week, and let's talk health. Have a good day.